guys will love her fly mask. Whether it's massage or chiropractic or AMF, barrier, she just loves her attention. So I'm going to get started on her. Let's do some applications. Try to move my phone a little bit because I got a neighboring troublemaker right here that keeps bumping into the phone. So I will move her here. Well, let's try her over here. Otherwise, in the Arizona sun, my phone's gonna overheat. So, and I can get to work already. Right. Go to your phone settings, display and brightness for phones, and find the text size. Oh, that's an excellent idea. I will do that. I'll try that for my next one. Thanks, Scooter. Alright, the phone brightness is turned all the way up. Cool. Alright. I had to leave her fly mask on so you guys can see this. I mean, that freaking cracks me up. I'll take that off here in a minute, but you guys have to see that fly mask. There's another one, a couple horses down that I'll be doing that with her. This is fly mask. Usually tell them there's fly masks on that look like that. Yeah, cracks me up. That's a good girl. Very good flexion back there. So, somebody hired me to come out and adjust their horse. They're not actually hiring me to adjust the horse. They're hiring me to evaluate it, to assess it. And if I find anything, then I'm going to adjust what I find, which is why you don't see me adjusting the same thing every time. See, what do you do? Oh, where do you go? Hi, JC. I go as far as I need to if there's enough horses. So if somebody wants me to come to another state and they don't have enough horses to make it worth a while, then obviously I can't go as much time. How she does with that. Yeah, it's fighter jets from the local Air Force base. Yeah, those guys are awesome, huh? So funny. So some horses just don't prefer those pressure points, so that's the case. Instead of doing pressure points, so I'll just come around and just rotate. You can see she's kind of fighting me on this. rewarded. They get a hit of dopamine and it feels good, and it just starts the cycle of, okay, I see what you want, and you know, I get some dopamine when I do that, and you're nice to me by releasing that pressure. So, you know, I'm not trying to force her around, and when she does come around, then I just let that pressure and wait for her to come around for a little more. So, you know, a little tap, see if she's not in the sun, now I've got a problem. So that was good that she rotated all the way to the shoulder. Well, that's a she, so if you're okay with the she horse, no problem. What are the evident signs that horses need adjusting? So I like to kind of describe this in a way that everybody can relate to, and that is, you know, we all drive the same car every single day. We all know how our car normally feels, right? If we hop into our car and all of a sudden we notice that it's pulling in one direction, or there's a vibration in the steering wheel, or, you know, there's a weird noise or something like that, something's just not right with the car, then we take the car into the mechanic and we go, hey, something's wrong, can you figure it out? That's how it is with horses. So people ride the same horse every single day, whether they compete on it or trail ride on it or whatever, and they know how that horse normally feels, right? I'm not looking for a lameness, right? If it's a lameness problem and it's so obvious where the problem is, then that's usually a veterinary issue, and I will typically refer those to the veterinarian. I work more on movement, so if somebody notices that their horse just isn't moving right, they're not performing as well, they're kind of slower than normal, they don't want to move forward, they're swapping leads, you know, they don't want to take a certain lead, they're crying their head up, there's all kinds of movement problems, right? So people will notice that there's a movement issue, and that's when they'll call me to come out and check it out. If it's a pain issue or they're lame, then obviously most people won't call me out for that, some will do, but the vast majority of the time those need to be seen first by the veterinarian just to make sure there's nothing major going on. And also, you know, if they're lame, you want to make sure that it's safe to adjust the areas that are showing up sore. So that's how you typically know as a rider. It's just horse just isn't feeling quite as good as it normally does, or something just feels off. Let's take this fly mask off so we can see her pretty face. There we go. This is Brent. She's happy to see you. If you guys don't mind hitting that like button for me, I would really appreciate that. And you know, if you want to subscribe to my channel, please consider doing so. Always would love to have more subscribers, of course. But either way, I really appreciate you guys coming in and watching my live today. Try to move her over a little bit. Girl. She's so good. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to stretch her pull up towards. Doesn't like extension. So let's bring her down into flexion. I'm going to see how she does coming down here. So I've noticed just over the years that I've been doing this that horses, when it comes to the pull, if they're fussing in a certain direction, like she was, they're fussing in extension, that's not the direction they need to be adjusted. It's opposite of people. So if I'm adjusting a person's neck and I'm on the spot that needs to be adjusted, typically I'll get a or it's kind of sticky, or it, you know, they'll kind of guard a little bit. It's like, okay, that's the spot. With horses, if they're guarding or they're fighting it, like tossing their head, that's a sign that that's not what they need. It's backwards. When I'm on the right spot for a horse, the horse will sink into it. It's like they go, oh yeah, that's it, and then you can adjust it. So with her fussing and pulling, I'm extending her like that. That's a clear indication that that's not what she needs adjusted. And when she came all the way down to the chest, I pulled, and we got that nice release up there. We got the look at you and deep breath in the head drop. So that's one reason why, you know, you really need to use somebody adjusting your horses that's certified full extension in the wrist. That's right, this is a wrist, this is not a knee. I think people call that a wrist because, or they call it a knee rather, because they say that horses have 4 legs. But if you think about it, what do we call this joint right here? Can anybody tell me what we call this joint right here? This whole thing? This whole thing. I'd kind of be interested to know what you think that is. Kind of falling down here a little bit. Anybody tell me what that joint is? How often do you trim nails? I don't trim their nails. I'm not a farrier, but typically horses get their feet done every 6 to 8 weeks. So this is a shoulder, right? We have the shoulder here. And below our shoulder, the next joint down is our elbow. They have an elbow right here. And then below our elbow, we have a wrist, and they have a wrist right here also, right? So they have shoulder, elbow, wrist, and we have shoulder, elbow, wrist. It's the same. And if you look at their wrist, this joint, under an x-ray, you'll see that it looks very, very similar to ours. We have 2 rows of 3 carpal bones, or sorry, we have 2 rows of 4 carpal bones, so we have 8. Carpal just means wrist. They have 2 rows of 3 carpal bones with 1 behind, which is called an accessory carpal bone. So they have 7 carpal bones. We have 8. We also have a radius and ulna here. They only have an ulna right here. So they don't have as many bones in the wrist as we do. We also have 5 metacarpal bones here. Meta means change and carpal means wrist. So we have bones here that are changing from the wrist to the hand. And that's what this cannon is. This is another My pleasure. Oh, that's awesome, Carrie. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either until 8 years ago when I was already a human chiropractor. And this whole thing just kind of fell in my lap and I ran with it, and now it's all I do pretty much. I mean, I adjust people sometimes too at horse shows and whatever, but the vast majority of the time I'm now working on horses. Comfortable. Oh, so she tightens up a little bit right there. That's good. Cool. Oh, there you go. Ooh. Nice little release in the stifle and in the fetlock when I pulled that leg out like that. That's just a little abduction stretch of the hip that I do at the end there. Oh, she's the best. People always like, do you like working on horses or people better? Like, I hate to tell you, but horses kind of danger zone, yeah, sometimes. Hey, Curtis, I am in Arizona. So I'm still like amazed when I do these legs, and I've been doing this for 8 years, but I'm just amazed that every time I do these back legs that they don't try to kick me. You know, it's like they're horses, they don't understand what's coming, they don't understand what I'm doing. And it's pretty amazing that they just let me do this stuff and don't try to kick my head off every time. And it's so rare when that actually happens. So it's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna flip her around, and then I'm gonna get her jaw nice and stretched out. Good. I'm gonna try to increase my fawn size, like you said, after this one. So hopefully they'll be a little bit bigger on my next one. Yum food. Awesome. Awesome, you guys. I see we got 46 people in here watching. If you guys could hit that like button for me, I would really appreciate that. And if you would like to share my live, that would be awesome too. But the likes help a ton, so thank you in advance if you don't mind doing that for me. So this is just a nice TMJ stretch. So TMJ on a horse is way up here. TMJ stands for temporomandibular joint, which on people is right here. One on each side. Same for them. And you can see that this is so close to the pole, right? So close to the atlanto-occipital junction on a horse where the neck meets the skull. And if you get any issues in the TMJ, you're going to have issues at the pole and vice versa. So it's just a really good idea to stretch this out on a daily basis, especially after you ride and you take the bit out of their mouth. Just give their TMJs a little stretch like that. It gives them some really nice relief there. And also, if you have issues in the TMJ, like I said, it causes issues in the pole, and those issues can work themselves back to the SI joints. All of a sudden, you're trying to fix pelvic issues when it's just the TMJ problem that's causing the pelvic issues. So this is a nice, easy pressure point. If you guys want to learn how to do this, just go to my website. The link will be in the description, but it's sporthorsechiropractic.com. And I have a whole equine stretching course on my website, and I teach you how to use these pressure points all over their bodies and how to do a bunch of manual stretches as well, and it's all in the video tutorial format. So check those out if you want to learn how to do some of this. All right, Ren is all done. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to pop her fly mask back on. She is one of my absolute favorites for sure. Alaska, hey, GT Junior, hopefully that's right. I mean, I do love the horse insanity for sure. I don't know if it's too much though. When they act as good as she does, they deserve some loving. Yeah, definitely. I think that's a huge part of it. Gouda is, horses are super energetic animals, and they can sense really early on, if you're there to help them or if you're there to hurt them. They don't like you, they're gonna let you do what I do. So I think that's a big part of it. Oh shoot! Thank you, Windhorse. Well, that's weird. Let me see here. Is that any better? Windhorse, is that any better on the audio? Oh, thank you, Windhorse. Appreciate it very much. That sucks if the audio hasn't been working the whole time, but hopefully that's better now. Let's see. Hey, from Germany. Awesome. Thanks for watching. All right, so we're gonna. Awesome. Thank you, Lord. That's so weird. Crazy. You spent $300 on a microphone and it doesn't want to work. All right, so I'm gonna move this over to Mason and we'll get him done. Trainer might come over. She just pulled in, so she comes over. Might have to talk to her for a little bit, but I will be back. Let me know if you guys have any questions while I'm moving this over. There we go. All right, grab my lead rope and halter, bring it over here. All right, so we're gonna step in here, work on Mr. Mason. Sunglasses on. And this is Mr. Steele. I just earlier on a TikTok live, which that'll be posted here pretty soon too. He's an interesting guy because he just wants to walk over you sometimes. Oh, hey, sir. All right. All right, let's see if I can get this halter on Mason. He's a big boy, so this halter may not. Going in and out on the connection. I don't know why the mic's not working. It's kind of frustrating. If it's not, I'll talk a little bit. Sorry, it's so glitchy. I'm out in a more rural area, and the signal's not too good out here, so just kind of doing what we can. This is Mason. Mason's about 20. Super gentle, sweet, lesson horse. The owner just wants to keep him working and feeling good. Ren was another horse that's owned by the same owner. Actually, guys, I'm gonna restart this live and hopefully get a better connection when I do that. So I'm gonna cancel this live out and then start another one while he itches himself on my back, and I will be right back.